children, today I'll be reviewing this brand new documentary series dropped on Netflix on Robert Downey Sr.'s life. And when I saw this documentary was dropping, I was really excited. I'm a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr., who's such a talented actor. Anything I have seen him in, he's so good, except the Doolittle. I guess he was not good in that movie at all. His accent was really off in that movie. Except that movie, I have never seen a movie with Robert Downey Jr. that he disappointed me. He's such a talented actor, and I was really wanting to see this. And what do I think about this documentary series? Maybe my investment for this documentary series more on Robert Downey Jr. than the Robert Downey Sr. because I didn't know his dad, like how he was. But after this documentary series, you don't get much about his life either. This documentary way that it was made, it isn't very, like, I don't know what kind of movie he made, but doesn't give you great idea. Although it does try to tell you, he's trying to make all this creative movie that doesn't always click at the audience and doesn't always works out. And that part of, like, the first part for this documentary, I found it really hard to get in. However, once we move to the last part of this documentary, it's really good. Again, probably because I found that part to be interesting, because I was such I have emotional investment in Robert Downey Jr., his life, how his life, once we all know he was this alcoholic, and then he got better, and then he got this Iron Man movie, and then he become, I guess in end of the day, he always came from this famous family. And once you'd see this documentary, many people will be actually see this documentary because of Robert Downey Jr. Halfway this documentary did became about him, which is very good idea, because like many people otherwise will be disappointed. As I was saying, first act for this documentary, you find yourself lost. You're like, what am I watching? But once you go past this silly thing, I will say, about his movie, this guy marrying his own mom, I don't know, I like this plot line at all. Once we go to the last act, I was like, oh, this is really very heart touching. And some of the scene I really like, and I was not about to like this documentary. I was like about to tune out, as again, because of I don't know much about Robert Downey Jr. Sr. Then again, yeah. So as he was talking more about himself, how hard it is to make in Hollywood when your father is so famous, like making all this famous movie. Not always clicked with the audience or critic, but still he was very known name. How do you get out of this shadow? And some part of this documentary does tell you how he got into this addiction, and how some in one scene, I don't know if this scene implied that maybe his father was encouraged him to do drinking and this thing with him. He said like it was normal back then, like, you want to get connected with your son and you introduce him to this thing. And I was like, whoa. Overall, this documentary, it is really worth checking if you like Robert Downey Jr. And who doesn't like him? He's one of the most likable actor. Of course, I really like him as the Iron Man. And now that he's not in MCU, I do miss him a lot. But I also really like him in Tropic Thunder. When I first saw Tropic Thunder, and actually back then I didn't know who that was. And when he wiped off his face from this makeup, I was like, oh my god, that's Robert Downey Jr. It was so epic in Tropic Thunder. He's one of my favorite performances. But I also like Robert Downey Jr. in Sherlock Holmes. He's also really good. And watching this documentary, I felt like this guy, he should be doing more movies. Unfortunately, he's not doing many movies. I really feel like when I was watching, I really miss him, on screen, because he's such a delightful actor. He should be doing more movies. Then again, he is so rich that he doesn't have to do more movies. But I'm really excited to see his next project with Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. And at first, I wasn't that much excited. I hope he's really good in that. Why I'm saying I hope, of course, he will be good in that movie. And that's my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this documentary? And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget my other reviews on other Netflix stuff. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.